So when Doug was looking at a prospect, he almost did it the complete opposite way of everybody else in the industry, and still to this day really, is everybody would always, if you walk into a pasture of 20 yearlings, the first thing most trainers say and owners say is show me the horses with the best pedigree. Show me the horses that the mothers have won the most amount of money. Because if the mothers won a lot of money, there's a good chance that the offspring will win a lot of money. Well, in theory, that's correct, but it often doesn't work that way, okay? So they would often want to go to the horses that were the best on paper. And the horses that didn't have the best pedigree, or maybe the father or the mother didn't win much money or any money, they would shy away from. Doug always did the complete opposite. When he walked into a pasture of 20 yearlings, and if there was somebody saying, well, that one's by highbrow cat, and this one's by metallic cat, and this one's by dual ray, he'd quickly shut the person down. And he'd say, I don't want to hear any bloodlines. I don't want to hear any breeding, any bloodlines. I just want to look at the animals. That's all I want to do. And what he was looking for, here's how he judged horses. Conformation is the biggest priority. After conformation, it was athletic ability, and how they got around, how they stopped, turned, moved in a round pen. And attitude is in that as well. And the third criteria was horse papers and pedigree. Where most people did the complete opposite. They do pedigree first, athletic ability second, and conformation third. And Doug's theory was when a horse is built correctly, and he has the conformation to do the job you're trying to get him to do, if he's built correctly, he has a much better chance of actually being athletic and doing the maneuvers that you want him to do. And if he's athletic and built correctly, it doesn't really matter too much how he's bred. But just because a horse is bred really well on paper, conformationally, it could be a complete fucking disaster. And I've seen that hundreds of times on paper. It looks like it should be the greatest horse ever built. But you look at it in real life and it's like, holy shit, this is the ugliest fucking horse I've ever seen. This is the most ill-built, ill-mannered, sorry-bred thing. So what would happen is, I asked him one time, I said, why don't you want to know their breeding up front? Because he said, if they point out a yearling that's extremely well bred, your mind will want that one to work. Your mind will go to that horse and you'll kind of justify his ugly back, ugly neck, ugly head. You'll start trying to make excuses why he's so built together so badly. But he said, if I don't know how they're bred, they're all even to me. Now I'm trying to pick for conformation. So when he eventually did get down to breeding, he'd always say, sometimes some of the best horses I can pick up at very reasonable, cheap prices because the mother never won any money. So if a mother never won any money in the show pen, she might have had an injury, she might have had a bad luck story, might have been gone through a divorce and never got finished trained. Who knows? There's a million fucking hard luck stories, okay? He said, I'll forgive a mother if she hasn't won any money. But if her mother never won any money, so now the yearling's grandmother, if that horse never won any money or produced anything, I can't forgive it then. So I can turn a little bit of a blind eye to a lack of dam side or even sire on the bottom side, okay? But I can't ignore 2 generations of it. So he said a lot of the times, those horses that mothers have never won a lot of money or produced a lot, those foals are greatly discounted in price compared to the ones that have. He said some of the best horses I've ever bought and sold for a lot of money and won a lot came from mothers that technically hadn't produced a lot at that point. So he said you can pick up a lot of great bargains there, but he said I can't overlook 2 dams that haven't done their job. And that was how he did it. Conformation first, because if they're not built right, chances are they won't ride right. It's too hard for them to do their job. Even if they're built right, they've got to be good movers, they've got to be athletic, they've got to have a good temperament. That's why he puts them in the round pen and puts them through their paces. And then the third aspect is the paperwork. What is that like? He said, I'll even overlook bad bloodlines if I've got the first 2 lined up really well. Where most people do the complete opposite. They look for bloodlines first, athletic ability, and then conformation. And that's completely ass about face.